welcome to a very live, on location WGS-TV. As you guys can pretty much tell, I'm not at my house. I'm here at the Amelia Recreational Center for the live Gulf Coast Wrestling show here tonight. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to introduce my co-commentator who's going to be joining me on commentary tonight. He is the host and the owner of Ringside Radio. Let me see if I can adjust the camera here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Nate Dogg.
What's going on, radio fans? Glad to be here tonight.
All right, well, we're guaranteed to have a good time tonight here, Nate Dogg.
Absolutely. We're going to have a great show. We got all the GCW superstars from Mustang Mike to Psycho Mike to The Rocket, and it gets no better than me being co-host tonight.
Now, tell everybody out there who hasn't heard about Ringside Radio what you do on your program.
Ringside Radio is a wrestling radio show every Wednesday night live on Blog Talk Radio, and we have some of the greatest professional wrestlers on our show. We also talk inside and outside of professional wrestling, and it's overall a great show, and y'all should check it out, and check us out at ringsideradio.com.
Now, I know we were talking earlier. I just want to get this here live here on the video blog, because I've also expressed my dislike and my distaste over what happened on TNA Impact, considering the fact we had about an hour and 20 minutes of promos. I wonder if you can tell everybody here on the who watches this here on youtube.com/WrestleGamer your thoughts about what TNA Impact did.
TNA Impact these days it's going down. There's a lot of bad things that you can say, but there's a lot of good things that you can say. But TNA right now, just some of the things that they're doing, I don't know if it's booking, I don't know if it's managing, I don't know if it's who's writing the storylines, but TNA really needs to get their act together. I mean, they're losing a lot of guys. I mean, Ash is leaving, the Dudley boys are going to be gone. Who knows how long Sting is going to be there. I mean, they really got a lot to think about in the next few weeks, and sometimes it's hard because of also booking. You have Vince Russo there, and you have Hogan and Bischoff, and I think what TNA needs is one person running the company, and that's that.
Now, one thing I've been asking my viewers who watch us here on YouTube is to leave a comment telling how what did they think of the new Jeff Hardy heel character and the way he's performing it. I wonder if you could give us your thoughts about the new Jeff Hardy heel character.
Well, Jeff Hardy's, known as a face, and I think he's a better face because the fans love him. Guys like Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and John Cena, they're not meant to be heels. They're meant to be faces because they're so loved by the fans. And you know what? His heel character is kind of like, remind me of Vampiro a little bit from the old WCW, the gothic kind of thing going on. And I just don't know if that fits Jeff Hardy, and I just don't know if that's going to get him over as well as it was when he was with the Hardy Boys.
Right. Another major concern involving Jeff Hardy, and especially the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, is the fact that, one, they put it on him, and they turned him heel. One major question, again, I've been asking my viewers here on YouTube to leave me a comment for is, do you believe that it was a smart move, a good idea for TNA to put the World Heavyweight title on Jeff Hardy, considering the fact he has court dates, and possibly if he's found guilty? I'm not saying that he is, guys out there who are watching this. I'm not saying that he is, but the possibility lies there. Now, knowing that, I'm going to ask a question to you, Nate Dogg. Do you believe it was a smart move for TNA to put the World Heavyweight title on Jeff Hardy?
Yes and no.
Yes,
yes, because he's a great athlete, and I think he's capable of being the TNA World Champion. Because of his situations, I think they maybe kind of rushed it a little bit. I mean, Jeff Hardy has a lot of, emotional problems. He's got his court dates coming up. He's got problems. I think for Jeff needs to take care of Jeff before Jeff can be the world champion and be the face of the company. So I think he's got a lot of work to go. But you know what? Matt Hardy was just released from WWE. Maybe when Matt's done with his, compete clause contract, maybe Matt and Jeff will be together again, and that will help Jeff.
I believe he might be 60 days into it, I believe. Even though he was just officially released, as Rick Starr has reported on www.thewrestlegamershow.com. But I believe he's been like over 50 or 60 days since he's actually been seen on WWE programming. But let me ask you this. Have you seen any of the YouTube entries that Matt Hardy has been posting up, especially with his, quote, new character, Matthew Hardy?
Well, I've seen it, and, personally, I know Matt Hardy. I met him at WrestleMania. He's a hell of a guy. I like the guy so much. and he's got a lot to offer in this business. And I think the YouTube videos and him coming out, he's just speaking from his heart. I don't think the WWE should have got mad about that. And so I've seen it, and he has, you know, a way to come out and express his feelings and freedom of speech. So I think Matt Hardy is going to be doing
Yeah,
good.
but looking at it from a professional standpoint, do you believe he's going about doing this the right way? You know, putting the WWE behind him, and because he did post up a video on YouTube, on his YouTube channel, you know, right after Bound for Glory, pretty much saying that he had put the WWE behind him, and he had to cross the line because he would not want to abandon his brother. Now, looking at it, because I know you said you've known him personally, but looking at it from a professional standpoint, do you believe he's going about this the right way?
You know, maybe he didn't do it the way I or you or somebody else probably would have done it. You know, but you know, everybody has their own way of doing things, and you know, for Matt, you know, his love and lie is, you know, with his brother for one, and two, you know, he has a self-made thing about this business, about how he feels about it. You know, and you know, there's so many differences in the world, so maybe him speaking out wasn't a good thing. Maybe it did hurt, you know, the WWE. Maybe it kind of hurt his relationship with the WWE, and maybe he would never got released for it. But you know, I think in all, it's what needed to happen. You know, WWE and Matt Hardy, you know, made the right decision, and they need to part ways. But never say never in the wrestling business. I'm pretty sure you're gonna see Matt and Jeff back in WWE down the line.
All right, now, guys, please keep in mind this video is being pre-recorded. Now, like I said on previous video entries, you know, if it was possible to stream the show here on Blog TV, I would. But right now, there's apparently some internet difficulties. Right now, we are actually signed into the network, actually, but the network is actually showing that there's no internet access right now. Now, if it is possible, we will flip. If he can flip it on, you know, we will stream. We'll still stream it tonight. But right, the time right now again is 5:47 p.m. Which means we have about an hour and 13 minutes left until the show. So, if it is possible, we will be live on Blog TV with tonight's GCW show. But then again, you know, stranger things have happened. I mean, I've shown Nate Dogg here a couple of videos over a 3G network on YouTube, and it's got the same kind of quality as would with a wireless internet access. So you never know.
But you know what, also, Billy, and all you wrestling fans out there, it's always great to have it live, yes. But you know what? If it is pre-recorded, y'all gonna love this show tonight. It's GCW. You know, they put on a hell of a show. I've been at these shows since I was 7 years old. I've known the Mikes for longer than that. You know, the Mikes are two great guys. So y'all gonna really have a great show here tonight. And I'm looking forward to seeing my boy, The Rocket, the guy you know very personally.
Yes, especially on a video here. Not only here on YouTube, he's also been a guest of mine on the podcast WGS Radio, and you know he's always a blast to have. And it was very interesting getting some of his opinions about what was going on with TNA, especially with Hulk Hogan and everything. And I want to address it a little bit right now here on the video, especially one of the things I've said. You know, he may have taken a little bit of offense to what I said about Hulk Hogan, you know, because yes, he has paved the way. He has paved the way for wrestling today. But as of late, and I've said it numerous times on my podcast, WGS Radio, you know, Hulk Hogan, in my personal opinion, you know, I have all the respect in the world for him, but as of late, he's turned into an attention whore, is my personal opinion about that. You know, if it is time to tell people, you know, it's time to let the newer stars, you know, get in the spotlight, don't take 25 minutes out of the show telling everybody that. You know, that's my personal thought about that. What about you? What are your thoughts about it?
You know, me personally, I wouldn't be watching wrestling if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, for one. I want to start off by saying that, you know, when I was a little kid, he was the guy that got me into this. And if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan being on TV, me watching him, you know, my father had a big, you know, thing to do with that too. So Hogan means a lot to me. He's probably the greatest icon, and he has paved the way. He made professional wrestling. There's no one that can ever do what Hulk Hogan did and ever will be Hulk Hogan, not just in wrestling, but in movies.
Yeah.
Has Hulk Hogan made bad decisions as a booker? Maybe so, you know. And some things he do is not so much. And yes, the attention is on Hulk Hogan, but then again, when you got a name like Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair, you want the attention on those guys because those are the guys that's going to bring you in the money. I mean, Hulk Hogan has sold out every arena, since being in this business. So, yeah, give the man all the attention, but sometimes you got to break away from yourself and give the young guys a chance. I think down the line, that's what they're going to do.
Again, we got the podcast later tonight, guys. blogtalkradio.com/WGS Radio with Ashley for Gamer Talk. So be sure that you tuned in and you watched it. Now, another thing I want to get here on today's entry of the video blog is you actually came up here and presented me with a little bit of a gift, and I wanted to show everybody here that Nate Dogg has actually presented me with Mick Foley's new book, Countdown to Lockdown. So, again, I would like to thank you here on the video entry here for giving me this book.
You're welcome.
Right. Now, we still have a few minutes left here on today's entry. I want to get your thoughts about this because I've said it, and I know a lot of the people on the WGS team have the same sentiment that they're actually very disappointed with this new regime called Immortal on TNA. I mean, it was available for good presentation, but they just did not like the way it was presented. I mean, what were your thoughts about that when you heard about this?
I think the same thing. TNA just has to do things better. I think the bad thing about TNA is you never know who's the booker there, or who's in charge there. I mean, first is Dixie Carter, then it's Hogan and Bischoff, then it's Russo. And kind of like the WWE, having movie star writers write their storylines. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
They needed to be one person in charge, making the decisions and making things go the way it should go. But if you have too many hands in the pocket, then it's never going to be ran as a wrestling company. And that's the way I believe about it.
All right, now later tonight, boys and girls, yours truly will be on Blog TV with more Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Be sure you tune in for that. Nate Dogg, a lot of people don't know that you're actually a gamer too. What games have you been playing, man?
I love Madden 2010. I love it, and now the new Madden came out, and I've just been even playing that even more. But I like the Raw versus SmackDowns, and the new one's coming out here in a few weeks. I'm gonna pick that up. Kind of like sports games is my thing. Call of Duty 2 is not that bad either, but it's mostly the sports games for me.
Well, that's going to be it for today's video entry here on WGS-TV on YouTube. Be sure you check us out every day, www.youtube.com/WrestleGamer. Nate Dogg, thanks for joining me on today's video entry.
No problem.
Be sure you check out his podcast as well, blogtalkradio.com/Ringside Radio or www.ringsideradio.com. Well, your official WrestleGamer, Double B, is signing out. Have a great day, everybody.